Hello to everyone in the city center area in Mississauga. It is a beautiful sunny day in November and it is time for another Square One condo real estate market update. Stay tuned and watch this video. Hello again everyone and thank you for watching this video. Oh, it's okay, let's dive into numbers right on. Every time I say let's make it short and sweet, but I always have a feeling that I talk a little bit more than I should. So this time I'm really going to try to make it short and sweet. Let's see how Mississauga condo market was performing in the month of October. If you were following my videos before, we do follow the trends and statistics on month-over-month basis. And I kind of tend to focus on the Square One area, city center, Mississauga. This is where I live. This is where I do most of my business. But this is also kind of reflecting Mississauga condo market is in general. So whatever is happening in the city center area in Mississauga is happening all around the Mississauga. Clearly, it's just that we have the majority of condos in this area. So if you get a chance to see my previous video, I'm definitely your whisperer of voice and trends of what most likely is going to happen. And as I said, if you watched my previous video, it proved to be right because I gave you a heads up that we are having an increase in showings and more buyers are in the market. And as you can see in this chart, it definitely reflected and it definitely ended in a higher number of sales. So as you can see in October, so last month we had 156 condos that were sold, and that is almost comparable to the peak of this year, which happened in March when 184 units got sold. So definitely the trends that I noticed when I was recording my previous video for the month of September, and just to repeat myself when I said that we do have a higher number of showings, most likely it's going to result in a higher number of sales. If that, it definitely proven to be right. In my next chart, also something that I'm occasionally doing every few weeks, I'm following what is the inventory, what is the available inventory. So these are only new listings or listings with a price change, so not the ones that are sold conditional. And you can definitely see the trend, what is happening right now, and the inventory is shrinking. Definitely, it does have something to do with traditional seasonal adjustments, but also based on the volume of sales, we can say that more buyers are in the market. There is less and less inventory, and I would say that all the inventory that accumulated during pandemic, it's gone now. So definitely, it is a good timing to list your property for sale as inventory has shrinked significantly. We're probably at the lowest levels of the inventory this year so far, and buyers are still active. They're still out there. So it is definitely a good timing to sell. In the next chart, also, we can see a trend of how long properties, condos are staying in the market before getting sold. And compared to the previous month, that number has also dropped to 16.7. So on average, in city center area in Mississauga, it takes 16.7 days for a condo to get sold. Also, one more indicator of a seller's market. One more very interesting chart that I really like to share with you folks is listing over sold ratio. So you can see here that in the month of October, one more value that went up, that's sold over listed price. And you can see that on average, condos were selling for 2.71% more than what they were listed for. So also one more indicator of the seller's market is the chart that I'm sharing with you right now. Okay, so there is, every time I try to put some new things into perspective, and this time we're going to analyze some of the sales that happened. And I just want to show you guys when we talk about the price appreciation and when we talk about changes in the value, I want to show that to you in a real time and with some real examples. So let's jump into one of the buildings. Didn't spell it right. Okay, where are you? It's this one. And we're going to jump into some previous sales in this building. And it is quite surprising for me to see, for how much more certain units are now selling compared to just a couple of months ago. This time I'm going to mention one of my clients who ended up purchasing in my building where I live, 60 Absolute. Hello to Herrick and Jessica. I hope that you're watching this video. And this is the unit that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is 2704 in this building, Pinnacle Grand Park Drive. This is 3975 Grand Park Drive. And as you can see here, this is actually the unit where we put an offer on. And our offer was actually just slightly below this number. We ended up with putting 700K. And we didn't get the deal. As I said, my clients at the end purchased at 60 Absolute. And look, this unit sold for 705, and you can see this was in March this year. And take a look, guys. The same 04 units in October were selling for 812 and 820. You can see both of them were 0404. So same layout, same square footage. One of them did have additional parking spot, but nevertheless, we're seeing increase in value of $100,000, and that's a lot. And why I'm mentioning this, these trends are happening right now. Clearly, this building is one of the best in the city center area. It's a newer building. It has a really good reputation. But also on the other hand side, if you're living in Absolute buildings, or if you're living, in some other building in a city center area, regardless of the building, you should also have some appreciation compared to March and April, because I just showed you these units are selling for $100,000 more. So, okay, these newer buildings will always be first to sell, but you guys should also see some appreciation in value in your units, in your condos. And this is something that agents that are not following market on a day-over-day basis, they're clueless about this, especially if agent is coming from another city. I've seen situations where owners list their property with their relatives from Kitchener or Barrie or even Scarborough. These agents are not aware of this kind of micro trends that are happening, and that definitely only professional that is focused, laser focused on this market can see these trends. They are not aware of that, and it sometimes it ends up by completely wrong evaluation of the properties. As I said, they're not aware of these trends, and you end up selling your condo for less, and potentially you would be able to get tens of thousands of dollars more. We can also take a look at some other buildings, like for example, this one, also city center area, PSV. And here as well, folks, look at this. 1+10 units are now selling for $600,000 plus. So you can see 610, 623. This is a significant increase in value compared to pre-pandemic. Units, 1-bedroom plus 10 units in these buildings were selling approximately $530, $540, $550 max. and now all of a sudden we are seeing this significant increase. There was a recently unit in building where I live, and at 60 absolute, 2+ den with beautiful layout, unobstructed view, super high floor, and it sold for, I don't want to say it sold for 660. Like that's peanuts. That's something that you shouldn't allow to happen. If a 1+ den is selling for 623 and you have 1,000+ square foot unit with 300 square foot of wraparound balcony, your unit has to be way more than 660. I definitely see these, I would say, prices and sales that are just not in sync with the current market and with current sales. Clearly, we cannot compare, for example, 60 absolute with this building that is newer, a couple of years, and it definitely has a little bit more value. But still, if a 2-bedroom unit in this building is selling for $820, then we cannot see $150,000 and more price difference between those two. You get my point. So that's just insane. That's just too much. And as I said, sellers are definitely being, I would say, they are not having a good feeling of what is happening in the market. And I would say that the primary reason why is they are not working with someone who is a professional, who is laser focused on this market, and who can provide the most of value. I said I'm going to keep it sweet and short, but I definitely wanted to share some live examples. What is happening right now? This price increase that I just shared with you guys is significant. Definitely something that you should keep an eye on. And as always, you have my contact information. You have my phone number. You have my email address. Feel free to reach out at any time with any questions. I would say that it is good timing now for sellers to get in the market to get the best possible price for your condo. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm definitely going to advise, and this is above the scope of this video, I'm also going to advise what are some costly mistakes that sellers make when they list their property for sale. So definitely we can have quite a few points of discussion. As I said, feel free to reach out. This is my email address, Nikola@condos.ca. You have my phone number. Reach out with any questions. I'm your Square One Mississauga City Center area specialist, and it is my pleasure to provide value and to answer all of your questions. Cheers. Bye-bye for now. And see you soon, of course.